Hey everyone, welcome to Car Review. Today we're going to do a review of the movie Bloodshot, so let's get into it. So, Bloodshot is this movie by Vin Diesel, and Vin Diesel plays Bloodshot, and he is a fallen soldier who gets reanimated into a superhero who's constantly being reprogrammed. So, the people that put in the technology and gave him the abilities to be super strong, super fast, all that stuff, they program him to go find a target. He kills the target, comes back to the people that programmed him, and then they wipe his memory, and they do the whole thing over again, so he always has a new target to go after. It's a really cool premise, and it's a simple premise on paper. However, in execution, the movie is way too complicated. I can't even believe that I was able to compress everything in this movie down into that one sentence. And to me, that one sentence sounds really good. To me, that one sentence is the pitch about a soldier who dies, and now that he has no life, just gets reprogrammed and reprogrammed to be this amazing killer with the aid of superheroes and technology. I think that is just a phenomenal, log line for this movie. But sadly, despite its ideas and its concepts and its overall expansion into this really cool mythology, it can't ground itself. In fact, I think I would have liked this movie to be a little more grounded. It is weird. It is campy. It is based off a comic book, so you kind of know what you're getting. However, again, it just feels too overblown for its own good. I will say this, though, despite its complicatedness and overall messy appearance, it does play fine. It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. It keeps you hooked in. You like what you're watching. However, the characters themselves are not that likable. They're not memorable, at least. I can remember Vin Diesel and Guy Pearce in this movie, but I can't remember anybody else in the movie. On top of that, I cannot remember the character names of Vin Diesel or Guy Pearce. I just know that they are the two most recognizable faces in the movie. Again, despite its issues and apparent problems from just the get-go, because you will start out confused, but then it explains itself going along, you will enjoy this to a point. Going off of being confused, the movie does give you breadcrumbs. It does feed you throughout its runtime. However, once it gives you the necessary information, you have to look back on what you just watched. So 20 minutes can go by, and then at the 21st minute mark, they'll explain why those 20 minutes happened. And then you're thinking about the past, but the movie doesn't stop. The movie does not rewind. You keep going forward. And so on that level, you're like, oh, I get it, but I don't get to experience it in full because it's already gone. Now I can only reflect on it. I can't experience that again, not without physically having to rewind the movie. So again, it is just this, it feels hollow, because on the outside it looks amazing, and I'll get to the visuals here in a minute. On the outside it looks amazing, it sounds amazing, but on the inside these pieces don't connect. There's not enough connective tissue to have this movie make a whole lot of sense. Getting into the visuals, though, this movie is gorgeous. Okay, it just is. Dare I say, even Oscar caliber levels of visual effects. This movie had a budget of, I believe, anywhere from 25 to 50 million. Somewhere in that range. Don't quote me on that, though. Regardless, I know it's below 60. By today's standards, that's the mid-budget movie. Because nowadays, you're either making it for 2-3 million or 200-300 million. Okay, this is your nice mid-level. And they squeezed every penny into these special effects, where they make you feel like you're watching a $100 million, $200 million movie. Visually, that's the best part of it. There is such great camera work and cinematography, especially in the fight sequences, that you feel just this visual spectacle coming at you. During the fighting of this movie, the director, who I forget his name, and the cinematographer, I forget his name, that duo did such a good job of working together to capture not only every punch, every connection, but every reaction. When Vin Diesel punches a guy into a car, you will see the dude's feet kick up, and you will see him hit the car. Likewise, you will also see the dust kick up underneath his feet, and you will see the metal of the car bend, the glass of the window break. You will see blood splatter, and beneath that blood, you will see broken skin, maybe bone. They do such a great job of capturing these immersive details that even though you might not want to rent the movie, I would say you should go look up these scenes on YouTube. This is the type of movie where years now, when people are looking for their good action fix on a YouTube video binge night, they're going to be like, ooh, Bloodshot action scenes. And they're going to watch these incredible 5-minute sequences that just blow your mind. Then you watch the movie and you're kind of like, oh, okay. So again, there are pieces here that are great. Visually, great. Action is great. Camera work, great. But that's not enough when your characters and your story and your plot just don't make a whole lot of sense. You know, story itself is fine. It's not great. It's not, you know, anything special, but it's fine. But then the plot centered around the story, centered around this idea, it just doesn't work. And it's a real shame because this movie could have worked. In fact, looking back on the movie now, as I talk about it, there's enough there that I would probably do a rewatch. I think there's enough of this movie that it becomes a type of sleeper hit. It's not great. Sometimes it's not even good, but it's entertaining enough. However, when this movie came out in March of 2020, it got hit by the coronavirus. This movie had 2 weeks, I believe, in theaters before the distributor, Sony, pulled it out and put it up on VOD. I totally get it. Theaters were closing down. But the point is that this movie never got its chance to fully shine. It never got its chance to get out there properly. It was there and then it was gone. And so it's sad because this movie could have been something better. It could have led into something great because while the first one wasn't fantastic, I could have easily seen a second Bloodshot movie capitalizing on these great ideas that the first one set up and just tweaking the parts that need to be tweaked and enhancing the parts that were already so great. And I don't know if we're going to get that now. You know, the coronavirus is a huge issue for many reasons. I mean, people are losing, you know, jobs, their lives even. But now it's affecting entertainment, which is supposed to take us out of the real world. We're supposed to watch movies to escape, which is what I did. I was getting stressed out about all the news today. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to deal with this right now. What if I have not seen yet? It was Bloodshot. And, you know, I'm glad I saw it. But at the end, I was like, dang it. There could have been so much more here. And so to summarize it, Bloodshot is a hollow movie. However, that shell, that outer shell, is gorgeous. And so if you do rent the movie, I will not blame you. In fact, if you rent it, just to kind of, you know, spend that money to get the word out there to help support the movie financially, I that's commendable. You know, I get that. However, if you're looking for, you know, something that's going to make you sit down and think deep about life and ponder to escape the real world for several days, this is not your movie to do that. Sort of like a Blade Runner or something. But if you rent this movie to escape for a few hours, well then Bloodshot's your ticket. So that is my review of Bloodshot. If you like this video, comment, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Alright, peace.